Ji, March 1st, Shivaratri, March 1st. What is Shivaratri?
Shivaratri, there are two words, Shiva and Ratri. It is just an Indian word. Shiva is just an Indian word. Every human being, they want rescue, they want solace for the mind, rescue from the burning of the mind, and they want some relief from the trauma of the mind. So it's all about how to experience something which is giving them some soothing sensitivity, soothing sensations. So you got to discover, you got to explore from where you get the soothing living. And therefore they discover something called Supreme. And that Supreme permeates through everything. All the thoughts, all the action, all the situation, all the event. So one has to have the talent, one has to have the skill, the sharpness of the brain to be able to discover this charge and the force that permeates through all the activity, all the event, all the situation. So once you have sharpened your brain, and then you discover the charge and the force that enables all the activity, and that perhaps Indians call it Shiva. So Shivaratri is a recognition of that charge and the force. And one has to discover it. And once it is discovered, you must celebrate. And your living should become a festivity because Shiva knows. So you have an activity level. In activity level, you have designation, you have a skill set, you have income, revenue, transaction. So these are activity level. And that is also permeated, interspersed, intertwined, interlaced with the Shiva principle, which is the charge and the force, which is the enabler, the empowerer. And then outside the activity level, you have a level of your understanding of what to do. Understanding. And outside that is perhaps you have interpretation of how to conduct yourself. And outside the interpretation, there is a directive, maybe a scripture, maybe a constitution book, how to conduct yourself. And outside that, there's an author who makes the constitutional book, maybe a scriptural book that gives direction. And outside the author, there is somebody telling the author what to do. And that is what you call unknown, unseen, the origin. So Shiva is the origin, Shiva is the author, Shiva is the scriptwriter, and Shiva is the interpreter, and the Shiva is the one that transacts the activity with reference to designations, assignments, and the do and the don't, how to conduct oneself as you transact in the world. So all this is permeated with the principle called Shiva. In case you have a dissent, in case you have a disobedience, in case you have a rebelliousness, in case you have a revolutionary idea, and that's also not devoid of the Shiva principles. So Shiva is the sustainer, and Shiva is the uplifter, Shiva is the upgrader, and then Shiva is a transition, and Shiva is a disruptor. Disruption means change, and everything changes. All the tools that you work with has changed. Internet is a tool. The food items that you use is a tool. Everything is a tool. Entertainment tools, sport tool, costume tools, educational tools, accommodative tools. All the things that you see in this planet are tools. Upakarana. And that's all about Shiva. So even the dissent, even the disobedience, rebelliousness, revolutionary, the mergers, the coming together, the takeover, and this is all permeated with the charge and the force and the idea, and that perhaps is Shiva. So this is the Mindcraft session of 39. You have seen the Mindcraft 25. So now we are here in Mindcraft 39, and it's about your question of Shivaratri. So enjoy your Shivaratri, but to discover this slicing, this separateness, that from the activity to its own charge and the force, this requires severe, sharp study of how the mind works. And for that, you have to be prayerful. Be prayerful, give respect to the mindset that you have, and then you will be able to discover the charge and the force, separate from its own activity, separate from its own representation, separate from its own giving agency. See, we are all giving agency to a thought process, but we are not the thought process and its agency. There's an origin of the thought process. So one has to be able to decipher this to get solutions. And for that you need to study Shiva with prayerfulness, with respect, and meditate. And it's very important to the breathing techniques, the pranayama of India, meditation of India. And this is where the Shiva principles, which represents itself as Guru, has to be subscribed to. So subscribe to the Guru principle that will reveal the Shiva principle, and then perhaps you can give cognizance to the Shiva principle behind every activity and whether it's agitation or whether it is acceptance. It's all about Shiva. And when you respect and when you subscribe to it, you come to serenity, sacredness of Shiva, serenity, sanctity, reverence. So it's all an Indian word of Shiva, and Shivaratri is the cosmic, astrological, astronomical time when these two principles of perhaps separated first as feminine and masculine, and then there is a further and further separation, but they all come together on that specific time of Shivaratri. So in the Indian subcontinent, in India, there is a date allotted for Shivaratri where people want to experience this throughout the night. They stay awake, they meditate, they do fasting, they do feasting, they do celebration, festivity, prayerfulness, meditation, to be able to get that kind of intellect that can decipher the activity, separate it from its own charge and force, and discover the permeation of Shiva through and through and through. So enjoy your Shivaratri.